Yeah, I mean, it's not very often. It's pretty rare. That's probably the first bug I've had in 3 days, but
I mean, that's not horrible. You know what's
no, not
horrible?
you guys.
Yeah, fucking kill me. I've been depression posting for the last like hour straight.
I've seen.
I hope people take pride in my misery because it's horrible and I hate it.
The tough thing about it all, I would say, is, well, the good news is, uh, what is it called? Like, chance is on your side. Or, like, the counter logic hope, that's all you have. Is like,
Yeah, that will still make playoffs.
yeah, just because of the fact that, like, everything's just so bad. The bad news is you basically, if you won today, you would have eliminated FlyQuest almost completely. I wouldn't say they're not mathematically eliminated, but their chance would have become like almost zero.
And we have now given them a chance.
Well, you've given them a chance, and you've almost guaranteed lower bracket too. That's the tough part. I'd say the worst part of it all.
Quite honestly, I just want to make playoffs first because now this week's looking scary. We can't even beat
Yeah.
Immortals. If we can't beat Immortals, we're not going to be able to beat anybody.
And you got Cloud9 tomorrow, man.
Watch
And
us
then
beat
us to end the
Cloud9.
week.
Literally
True.
watch us beat Cloud9. It's going to be the most fucked up thing in the world.
I mean, but that's the thing. Tomorrow is gonna be a tough day because you either beat Cloud9 and like really turn this week around, right? Or like you get crushed by Cloud9 as well, and then you go into the TSM game just like down, like really down and out. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm ready
I
to.
mean, it's not like TSM has an easy game tomorrow. They play TL.
TL just beat Cloud9.
Yeah, they did their
Here,
best to not, but they still beat them.
here's my question to you: who's the best team in the LCS right now? It's got to be Golden
Still
Guardians, right?
Cloud9.
And best of
Nah, it's
ones, it
still
has to be Golden
Cloud9.
Guard. No, for right now, you have to say Golden Guardians. It's not Cloud9. What
Why?
do you
Last
mean
week,
why?
Golden Guardians lost to TSM.
And Golden Guardians beat Cloud9, and then beat EG today.
Yeah.
Like again, law of averages. I'm willing to write off the TSM loss, so long as they continue to put down the teams that are at the top.
It's fair.
Now, I'm not saying when they get the best of fives they're going to be good. Cloud9's still the best of five team, and still the favorites in playoffs, regardless of what anybody else says. But this playoff race just got so much closer.
It did. It did.
Because now there's what, a three-way tie for first?
Yep.
And TL's how many games behind?
Only one. They could really get in there.
Oh man.
I mean, realistically, this is gonna sound wacky. I know this is a lot of hopium, but I'm their fan, so of course I'm gonna say this. But realistically, TSM is split with Golden Guardians right now, and plays EG and C9. There's a world where if we get hot, like we could try to be fighting for a second seed, like
You
at
could,
least a bye. You know what I mean?
yeah, you could do the 100 Thieves thing back in 2021 where we made like a 9-1 run at the very end to like shoot up to second place.
Yeah. We
That
could be
was the
playing
split
for a
that you
bye.
guys finished first in the regular season.
Was it really?
Yeah, you guys had like a 5-game
Hey.
lead and nearly choked it.
Yeah.
That was
Sounds
like
about right.
that was
Back
like
then.
BB in his prime, Spica. Who else did you have on that team? I think it was that PoE era? It might have been PoE era because it was after Bjergsen and Double If retired. So who did you
Yeah,
have for
then that'd
who
be
did you have
Power
for
of Evil.
ADC?
Tactical.
Was it? I thought
I
that
think, or lost.
2021 was or no,
Probably
I
lost
get
them.
2020 was TL Tactical, and then they got rid of him at the end of the year, I think, to you guys. or at least traded him out
No,
by summer.
2020 we got double lift.
Yeah, but then oh wait, yeah. So then
And then it was
2021.
Sword Art. That was the Sword Art roster,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but then you got rid of Sword Art after once. No, was Sword Art? I'm confused because
You're
it was
saying 2021. 2021
yeah.
roster was like Power of Evil, Sword Art, Lost.
Okay, so it was Lost. How did you guys get first in the regular season with Lost?
I don't think we did.
You 100% did. The year that we won it all was the year that you guys had 1 seed from the regular season.
I mean, that team was. We didn't have Broken Blade without Bjergsen.
Was Bjergsen? Oh, Bjergsen was still there. Or no, no, I thought Bjergsen was. Or what year did Bjergsen coach? Bjergsen went to TL last year with 2022. Wait, did 100 Thieves win our split in 2020? No, we won 2021. Yeah.
Oh, it was Huni, Spica, Power of Evil, Lost, Sword Art. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
they got first. I don't know how they got. Oh, it was. Yeah, they got first. Dang.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my memory of that split's decent.
And then they just choked in playoffs.
Yeah, you guys lost your upper round. We both lost. I think both you and us lost our first round. And then we proceeded to go on a run. You guys, I think, like spud, like fluttered out shortly afterwards.
All. That was such a stupid year. Literally, all we had to do was Reggie just had to put his foot in his fucking mouth and keep double lift, and we probably win another title.
Oh yeah, easy.
Probably 2 titles with double lift.
I think at least one.
Like, yeah, we get at least 1 there. Like, he's just such a stupid owner sometimes. It's whatever, though.
I mean, you're still living high on this final ride, though. Like, regardless of the dumb decisions that he makes.
Reading some of these people's stuff has been hilarious. The subreddit all of a sudden is like, there's like this new wave of people trying to say like, doesn't this make you want to just keep the team in LCS?
No.
And I'm like, no, because the reason being is mainly like, it's kind of too late. Like, I mean, would I prefer it to be an LCS so I can watch the games live? Yes. Who wouldn't? Like, you're crazy not to say yes. But is it very true that if he wants to win Worlds, which is what he is promoting this all on, that they'd have to leave? I mean, yeah, like, realistically. Yeah. Now, if we stayed, would I be mad? No, because just figure it out here. Like, that's what I wanted them to do from the jump. But he's kind of proven that he doesn't want to do that, which I mean, goodness, what a mistake it was getting rid of imagine if they would have just kept Broken Blade all these years.
You keep Broken Blade. Spica, I think, is presenting himself to be a bit of a problem.
I think with Broken Blade, he was fine. They just needed a better coach than what Bjergsen was. Oh, you just froze. Okay, I thought my internet died.
No,
but no, I'm saying like I think the thing is Bjerg as a coach, like the issue was a lot of him not being able to conform to the players he had. Like I remember when people were making rumors and stuff like saying he was like upset because Power People couldn't play Lee Sin and stuff, and like it was making him mad to the point where he was like, "I'm better than you at mid lane." And he was saying stuff like that. A coach saying that though is like
that's but that's exactly what happened with TL and Rainover, or not Rainover. Who they bring in to coach this past split? Marin. That's exactly what Marin did. Marin would come in and just sub in for Piosik and be like, "I could do this better."
Really?
Yeah.
Was he really doing scrims?
Yeah, apparently he'd sub in a few times and just prove.
Oh. Wow, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a terrible thing. It's like the old argument of like the Charlotte Hornets, right, with Michael Jordan. Like, it didn't help them having the best ever. Like, not everybody is built to coach, and a lot of these guys are like, when they coach, it's just, dude, sometimes you gotta learn to just use what you got and build them up. Like, you can't
Yep.
break their confidence. Once you break your own guy's confidence, it's shot.
Speaking of broken confidence, I have a very tough question for you.
Oh dear.
Would you bench closer right now if you were management of 100 Thieves?
I guess, but for who?
I don't know. We got rid of our academy team.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody.
Are you partnered with any?
No.
Uh,
I no. We
yeah.
got. I don't. You buy out Mir from TL.
Think they'd sell them right now? I don't think they
Maybe.
would.
Maybe.
I don't think anybody would sell anybody to anyone right now. I think they're gonna just, especially if you're a team that's on the downhill slope, I think they're gonna let you downhill while they uphill.
I don't know. Find some cracked amateur jungler that can just go in and go balls to the wall.
I don't think there is one.
738 damage.
Yeah.
That's how
On Viego.
how how's
To
that
be fair,
possible?
you guys were really far behind, and Viego is
Was what
like a
power farming?
pretty. Yeah, he was power farming all game, but he also wasn't like, I think his windows weren't fantastic, but he is also not doing anything. So
What was that?
there's that.
What was the dragon call?
I don't know, man. And the Baron fight where DL almost like salvaged the
Dude,
whole thing.
that's twice now in our losses where I've seen like Double Lift just be like so pissed off and just try and win
Yeah.
it. Then again, this game's a lot on them. Like Double Lift and Busio own this loss more. I mean, Closer's gonna get a lot of shit for that damage number, but like you got killed at level 2, you got ganked again, and again, and again. When do
But
you?
they also can't do anything into those ganks.
I agree with. Do you just okay? Maybe that's just. This is where my gold level understanding is not sure. Is that the responsibility of the ADC and support to just understand that, hey, we can't go up? They're camping bot lane. You sit under tower and accept whatever fate you have, or do you try and contest it and you need jungler down there and jungler's not willing to come?
Yeah, I think that's where you have to like. I think that's on the team. Like they should be somehow helping break that, because there's no world where your ADC can just be giving up CS that much CS. Like that just can't happen. I mean, there's no reason in professional play, I'll put it this way, that two tower dives, 4-man tower dives should happen bot lane and both go completely unanswered. Especially when in the game before, EG, or not the game before, 2 games before something, was it? The Golden Guardians EG game?
They did the exact
Golden
same thing.
Guardians EG walks down like they're gonna do a 4-man tower dive, and all GGS did was put River on a ward. He literally stood on top of the ward like he knew where it was almost. And just by showing his presence made them go, hey, we can't do this tower dive anymore. I guess we'll just leave. So they left. Like, you got to do something like that. You know what I mean? You have to give enough presence to prove, like, hey, if you do this tower dive, there's a good chance it goes wrong for you.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get what you guys are doing in other
And
places.
and then the 100% late TP from Someday, as always.
Yeah, and Quid like had a really sick Shurima shuffle to die.
Yep.
That was
Well,
about it.
he
Well,
lived.
he
He lived
lived,
with
my
like 2
bad. He
health.
did live. Yeah.
But like,
I was.
he got chunked out of lane twice. He had to
It
back.
had me.
He had to back and TP in the lane. He TPs in the lane, and that dragon fight happens like 30 seconds later. And you look up, and Quid's just missing half his health. It's like, bro, what the fuck? What happened?
And the like hilarious like reaction from the crowd too when he TP'd down there after everyone's dead and he does the stream shuffle. The crowd goes, "Oh!" And I'm like, Like, what? He's not doing anything. I
No.
was like, he's not killing them. I was like, there's no tower aggro on them. They're just gonna walk away, and that's what they did. I was like, okay.
And that's, I mean, chat's talking about it now. They're talking about like the comp diffs. It's like, yeah, you had Rel, Nocturne, Zaya against
Yeah.
Viego, Rakan, Kaisa. Like, yeah, they're gonna dive you. And they were saying, oh, once you hit 6, the trouble was like we died what, 3 times before 6, 2 times before
Mhm.
6, something like that.
3.
Yeah, like ah,
And yeah, closer just getting outsmited by Kenvi just walking up
yeah,
into
just
his face
walking up and
was
taking it.
so bad.
Closer
That is
is
one of those. Maybe you should mention like.
Closer is, and I hate to say this because again, I have nothing but respect for the guy, and I know there's eyes on me now to a certain extent. Like I can't.
Mhm.
You got to be careful what you say, but I think it's safe to say Closer is the worst
It was
jungler in the LCS,
it was
bar
a good
none.
run.
It like
I think yeah.
it's time.
I think it's old Yeller season.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's time to say you were a good dog. But and we enjoyed what you did and you brought us a lot of happiness, but unfortunately, you need to go out into that beautiful LA ocean and just keep walking and walking and
okay.
fade.
Going a little far there at the end.
Well, if he just keeps going, he should get, you know,
You
he's gonna
realize
have to
you're
learn how to speak ERLs.
he's got to learn how to swim the Pacific. He'll die. It's
All
not
right. Well, I didn't
possible.
want him to die. I didn't
It's
want him
not
to die.
possible to walk to anywhere. If you keep going, you will just get eaten by sharks.
Honestly, though, low key is it worse? I think his quality of life goes up, right? If he goes to ERLs. Is it even an insult to say you need to learn to speak ERL?
I don't know. I have no clue. But
If
like,
I don't know, I mean, he should get on a team over there,
yeah, he probably
but
will.
EU's a bit more cutthroat, like in the sense of I don't think they'll take recycled like players on their downhill. I think they want to win really bad. So
I think you'll have somebody take Closer. Like I can see him fitting into like an LFL team. Now, granted, they're gonna
yeah.
have a salary cap, so I hope Closer's ready for a cut. But like,
Oh yeah, that's a good
you
point.
gotta look if you're about grinding that life, that's fine. But this feels like Armoot V2, where it's like
Hmm.
Armoot, his time came and went last split. For Closer, like you're just looking at it like it's unfortunately time. And I mean, to be fair, we've been warning of the signs of this for like a year and a half, and I was all on the can be hype train for, unfortunately, all the wrong reasons. But like, I don't know what to do at this point. Every team has us figured out. You chain gank bot, you prevent double it from getting ahead, and we're fine. And literally any team is fine against us because
Yeah.
we are not creating leads in mid. Someday can only do so much in top. He's not going to be that guy that ever carries the game for you. So I don't know.
It's just like I don't even know, like the fact you guys are 8th is just wild to me.
Yep.
Wild. Like, and you're pretty, I don't know, it's doable. It's still doable for you to get back up this ladder, though,
And the thing is, like,
and get to upper bracket.
I've seen enough from I've seen a lot of people coming at Busio. I've seen enough from him to like be willing to like continue on. I don't think you cut ties with him, especially given the potential that he has.
Hmm.
I just think you need to put better pieces around him. Like whatever we're doing right now in mid jungle is just not working. We're not taking any pressure off of them, and it's
Yeah.
just creating this environment where we're just screwed.
I just don't. I don't love when your bounce back game has to be against C9.
Yeah.
That's just not a good day for anybody, like, ever. Because they're gonna punish the part like what Blabber could end up doing tomorrow to Closer could be very, very unfortunate for Closer. Like
He could literally end
I
his
don't,
career.
yeah, I don't see Berserker like losing lane to double. Berserker's probably one of the few ADCs who's better than Double Lift.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not like you have a real advantage anywhere. It's not like Fudge struggles with Someday and M&S is probably gonna absolutely dump on Quid. No gripes to the guy. He's just not.
Yeah.
He's more of a survivor
Yep.
in lane than he is a takeover type player.
Berserker's also my MVP right now. Which I think I
Yeah, I
can.
mean,
I think I'm allowed to say this publicly, since I voted last split. But I recently got notified that I'll be voting again for MVP
nice.
this split. So I'm gonna start mentioning in content now, like the MVP conversation, because there is only 5 games left. I do think Berserker right now is probably the MVP of the league. Jojo Pyun had it for a bit, but is over the last 2 games has fallen off. Now he could redeem it by the end of the week if they beat Cloud9 and Jojo Pyun starts carrying again, then sure, like you take the entire split and fine. But like Berserker, even in their loss today, was just really stupid good. Arrows were
Yeah,
a little bit hit or miss, but outside of that, he was unconscious in fights.
yeah, he's stupidly good at this video game. And I will say, like, the good news is for you guys, more than anything else, is that it is all in your hands after the C9 game.
Yeah.
Granted, you also have to play Golden Guardians, so that's pretty tough. Like,
Yeah, but we have 2 games to work with over FlyQuest, assuming they lose the majority of their games, and assuming we lose to the top teams and they lose to the top teams, we still have a 2-game stretch to work with.
I'm not worried about your playoffs. I'm more meaning like you keeping upper bracket or
Oh no,
being
I've
able
given
to
up
get
on.
to upper bracket.
I've given up on that.
You
I'm
still have
done.
a road though.
No, we're done.
You play TSMEG and Dig.
Yeah, we're done. We'll beat
But
Dig.
that's still,
We'll beat Dig. We're not beating you guys right now.
you could beat us.
No, not right now. Boogie puts Closer in the ground at the moment.
But you want to talk? That dude's been surprising me. He's been playing
I
out
know.
of his freaking mind.
I
don't know
know.
what's going on.
So you're gonna honestly
That
sit here with a
guy's
straight face and tell me that he's gonna lose to Closer? Really?
I don't know.
No, he's not. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, and Wild Turtle really is not playing bad league. Dude's pretty stinking good right now.
Yeah. I'm curious. Going on the MVP conversation for a bit, is there anybody else in your mind? Because chat's mentioning River and Stixay for Golden Guardians, but like I don't know. As of right now, I'd have to take a deeper look at it, but I don't get the impression of MVP from anybody in particular on Golden Guardians. I feel like their team is just performing well all around, and they gel incredibly well. That nobody really stands out to me as of right now.
I think you could say River. I think Armeo is in the running. If he has a little bit better, if they end up with #1, I could see him like making some weird resurgence. But I think JoJo is louder in the narrative, in just the sense of he's more flashy and he's more interesting. But I think like Armeo is a very like he could be one of those types just because of what he's changed as far as their jungle situation has gone and how good he's been. But those are the only teams I could see you giving MVP to. Other than that, it would be like if TL just wins out and gets first, like what, Summit?
No, if anything, APA gets more credit than Summit, but I'm not willing to give it to APA given the small sample size. Same thing with like M&S last split. I'd be willing to give him all pro.
Yeah.
I would not be willing to give him MVP. Even if he does go undefeated and like they win out entirely, it's two little games. I'm not willing to do it. I will put him first all pro. If TL wins out and APA doesn't drop a single game in his premiere, yeah, APA is getting first All Pro.
You wait for TSM to win out and Insanity to get MVP.
Actually, though, okay. You want to talk about a clear cut MVP? If TSM does win out and like secures a top 2 seed and plays incredibly well, yes, Wild Turtle arguably is playing the best on that team, I would say. I think Insanity has a clear cut case for MVP on how he's changed that team.
I think Wild Turtle, yeah, has looked the flashiest, but it would go to Boogie or Insanity for me. Like as far as team goes, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like those two have been. Boogie has quietly been having like just a breakout or I'd say one of those like career saving splits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think
Like
that's fair.
he'll definitely be kept by whoever buys the team, or he'll get picked up.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, I think he gets picked
unless
up
he
in
wants
that
to
case.
go, unless he goes back to LA, because I know he still tweets a lot at them back there. Like I
Really?
think he still want. Yeah, I think he'll go back, to be honest. But
Well, it depends on the pay too.
that's true. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, if you're only making league minimum here, I doubt you're making it too little money there for it to really matter. And if you enjoy it that much more, why wouldn't you go back?
That's fair. It's not wrong.
Happiness is a huge motivator, but
Nick said, "Can we give it to Ayla just to piss off Falcon? That'd be hilarious."
it will be.
Not
It's
willing to
like,
do
but
that, but
I don't think like any TSM player really gets any big things. Like I think it's
no.
pretty clear cut that it's gonna be Berserker
As of right now,
or
yeah.
like, yeah,
Because like, I
or
know,
Blabber. Honestly, Blabber's been
uh,
playing really nice all year, but
Blabber's been playing well, but like, I will
people are just bored of voting for Blabber.
I will also continue to reiterate my point of like I think MVP just has to be like the single most valuable player, the player that you change out and the roster looks entirely different. Like you are carrying games in moments where it almost seems unwinnable because it is you as an individual. That's what makes you the most valuable player in my mind. That could even like one person I think it's overlooked in that regard is Huhi. He's not always going to be the flashiest player, but his shot calling has clearly made a massive difference to Golden Guardians.
That's true.
But how do you quantify that?
I mean, you can say though that who he is an MVP from that. Like, you
Like
don't. I know it would be hard to quantify, but you would just go with like successful engages.
that,
And
I'd also need to like make sure. I think in order for that to happen, Golden Guardians has to finish first in the split for me for him to take it over M&S, and like who he needs to like I don't know. It's just so
well,
hard because like it's who it's one of those that like I don't typically like having the MVP just automatically be like one of the best players from the top team. But at the same time, the condition for who he getting MVP would be Golden Guardians finishing first in the regular season.
they have the easiest road to do it of the three tied
Really?
for first. I think so. I mean, EG plays Fly tomorrow. Golden Guardians plays Immortals. Cloud9 plays 100 Thieves. So they all play the bottom three. No offense. It's literally just the bottom three.
What are you saying no offense for? We fucking suck. We deserve that title.
I didn't want you to feel bad
we
when I was saying it.
We worked hard for that bottom three title. Why are you
And
taking that away from us?
tomorrow Golden Guardians plays NRG, which is literally the only lowest team closest to those other three teams that they all play.
Wait,
And
Golden Guardians plays NRG?
yeah, and then
Okay.
Cloud9 plays EG to end the week.
Golden Guardians EG or Golden Guardians NRG is actually going to be a really good game. In my
Probably,
mind,
yeah.
in my mind it is because I think like that's going to be a good test to see like those are the games that you want to make sure you put away cleanly.
Yeah.
You don't want to drop games against a relatively hot NRG right now.
they're just such a weird team. They look terrible sometimes throughout the game. I know they pull it together, but
Yeah.
like today's game, it was like the whole
To
game. I was like, ugh.
to be fair,
I know that's
contract
a
said on
lie.
stage that Palafox is like throwing up fever sick. So that could have affected
Oh,
at least a little bit today. But I will. Dokla's had
but
a
they were getting
relatively
crushed.
rough.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was bot and top where all the gold difference was.
Yeah,
Palafox was saving the other two lanes.
yeah. Once again, I swear to God, if
Why is
NRG gets up
Palafox on
or
stage
what?
throwing up?
Well, no, he was throwing up this morning apparently.
Yeah, I just mean, like, why is he not playing remote then?
Wear a mask and call it good. Welcome back to
He wasn't
pre-COVID, I
wearing a
guess.
mask.
I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe
I
maybe
don't know. I mean,
I, I don't know.
I'll just let that be. But I was just like, that's kind of whack, I guess. But I mean, that's not even a COVID thing. That's just like, really, we're about to spread the flu 2 weeks out of playoffs.
I mean, hey, if you can't beat them, make them sick and
Yeah, if you
hope
can't
they
beat
can't
them,
play.
biological warfare, your enemy. Truly counter logic. We're back to counter logic gaming.
Oh God. Oh
What's an
man.
RG stand for?
I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a sickness that begins with G. Other than freaking gonorrhea. It's like that. That ain't it. That ain't the one to go with. Glaucoma? No, that's not good. That makes him blind. Wait, that might be true.
Yeah.
Wait.
Blind enemy. NRG's using the old infamous Byzantine Empire strategy.
Oh God. I don't know. I will say, this split is incredibly entertaining.
Bro, this has been like that's what's been making me sad about the hype. I feel like the hype should be so much higher. This is like crazy. Like the fact that the back eight, like there's 8 teams going in, right? 80% of the league goes in, which is way too many. And still I'm not like feeling that way. I'm like, hey, I actually want to see these 8 teams.
Quick
Like
cut it.
I'm kind of happy.
Quick cut it. Healy just posted in Discord that he was wearing a mask today.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yes,
Then I take all that back.
he was masked up. No biological
Oh,
warfare today.
look at me spreading misinformation quicker than a disease. But
Okay, Elon. Okay.
Yeah, that's our community guidelines for the crossover podcast. We have community guidelines.
We'll get into that in a minute because there's a topic that I want to talk about that I'm involved in a conversation on Twitter about right now. But anyways, continue what you were saying before.
But like, I don't know. It's just like I'm actually genuinely happy that 8 teams are getting in because I'm curious about all 8 of them. Like, there's a world where 100 Thieves is a very hard 8th seed to beat in a best of 5. They have a lot of good players for that. There's a world where, like, another team like TSM, they have, like, as old as they are and as washed as they are, they do have a lot of players with a lot of best of 5 and on stage
Yep.
experience. Like,
I was
they
thinking that
can.
same thing earlier. Whenever I was talking about like I want to see TSM make a run, I was like, if there's anybody that I trust to perform when we get to the big stage, it's kind
Yeah.
of Hanser and Wild Turtle.
Yeah.
Weirdly
Like,
enough.
and Boogie doesn't worry me because he was crushing LLA like in wherever they were doing playoffs, so he can at least play in a finals, you know what I mean? And I don't know what to say about Insanity. He's playing out of his mind in the split, so
Yeah.
unless the wheels just fall off, he should be fine. And then you have a team like EG, who I'm so curious how they play on a massive stage. Like, I want to see them really bad. And we only get, what is it, 3 or 4 teams the final weekend?
Yeah.
Is it
3.
4 teams?
3.
3? Like, we only get 3 of them, yeah. So we're only going to get to see 3 of them really go at it. So having all 8 and getting to see all these best of 5s and all these other games, I'm kind of happy about. Like, I kind of don't mind it anymore. I used to be a big hater on 8 teams getting in, but I
In
don't
a
know. The way it matters with seeding, it's kind of fine.
in a world where your league is or not, I mean, people are going to criticize me for saying stacked, but for LCS
Hmm.
standards, it's a pretty stacked year where like every team is closely competitive. Then the 8 teams getting in is great.
Yep.
But I don't know.
I think it's safe to say the LCS is stacked this year. I don't even think that's a wrong way to put it. I
Well,
mean,
because anytime I say it's stacked, like you say the LCS is stacked, people are gonna take it in a vacuum and be like, really? Any like the 10 seed LPL team could probably beat these guys, and it's like, yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. So I try to
well,
like,
Impact, Spica, Prince, and Vulcan. Impact and Vulcan being guys who had pretty good showings in at Worlds before, and what Prince, a guy who's was really good in Korea, are ninth seed. Like
yeah,
that's not. I'm not gonna say Speak has had a good international showing because he,
no,
well, happens.
yeah,
But um, there that's a pretty good lineup.
it's
Like
not bad.
I don't know, that being your ninth seed, I feel like is pretty good. You can blame it on underperformance and a lot of other factors, but I mean, our fifth seed in TL is pretty good too. I feel like, or
Piosik's
fourth
literally
seed right
Piosik's
now.
literally the defending world champion.
Yeah, and Summit has crushed it in a lot of places, so
I just want
I
to
don't think Summit is bad.
I want to see Summit go to Worlds. I really do. Like
Yeah,
I am all on now the TL hype train of just like trying to get them to go to Worlds because I want to see Summit play against some of the top players across the world. I want to see APA get his shot in his first season against international talent.
it would
Like
be cool.
give him that taste of it. He doesn't have to win the LCS, but like give him that taste of Worlds, like to experience it just a little bit.
Well, is
I
our
think
top four now the top four you think that's going?
what Golden Guardians, Cloud9, TL, and EG.
EG.
I think there's a very clear world where EG collapses.
Hmm.
They're the only
Really?
team that, yeah, given their recent performance, they're the one team that I'm looking at on that list that like I'm highly sus of. Jojopian, I still think is
Oh,
playing well, but like when they like if people can figure out decent level ones against them, they'll just start chain hinting. And like
yeah, they.
they're a team, especially with like Unforgiven. After interviewing him and everything else, like he seems like a little bit more high strung, which could be a good thing. Like when you're in the moment, that could lead to like some really insane plays. But like at the same time, like there's a world where I can see if they start falling behind a little bit, or you get into like some of those more tense moments, like I could
Mhm.
also see it causing like problems.
They do play like Fly and Immortals, but I mean, they suck. But they also play Cloud9, uh, TSM, and TL. So, so they play
Yeah, they could
Fly,
drop.
C9, and then TL or Immortals, TL, TSM.
I would like to see a world where EG gets
Kind of
third.
hard.
I think I would like to keep C9 and Golden Guardians as our 1-2.
Mhm.
Keep it that way, and then let Dignitas. Well, I think NRG is actually going to make a run up. And I think Dig is going to fall based on what I saw today. So I'm going to say Dig falls to lower bracket with 100 Thieves. And then from there, it'll be EG third, TL fourth, or whatever you want in that combo. And they'll play either NRG or TSM. Either team could give EG a run for their money in a best of 5 right now.
Yeah, Energy or TSM.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's very true. Like, I mean TSM still has to play EG, so we'll know kind of
Yeah, we'll get a taste.
how they're forming up now. But like, yeah, that is a tough one thinking about it. they do have a long road.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, because Dig and 100 Thieves right now, at least, there seems to be a blueprint on how to control them.
Yeah.
There seems to be that. But I'm not so confident that NRG and TSM, there's 100% a blueprint on what to do.
No, 9 times out of 10, like they beat themselves if they're gonna lose, which is
Yeah,
unfortunately a little
like
too common in the LCS, but it is what it is.
there's a blueprint, don't get me wrong, for Cloud9. Cloud9's blueprint is just we're better than everybody, and that's life. But everybody else is still kind of, well, Golden Guardians is basically the same. They're just smarter than everybody. If we're being honest, they are so much smarter than everybody else. And like those two teams are still going to be them. But yeah, you aren't wrong. Like EG and TL have a lot to prove to everyone.
And even then, I still think C9, like you got a blueprint to beat them now. Get ahead in
What do you
mid lane
think
and
it is?
mid lane and top.
Uh,
Gory crushed M&S. And then same thing today, APA, like even though he didn't absolutely demolish M&S, like he understood like I'm just gonna push you into oblivion. And you ain't gonna be able
True.
to do shit about it. And it worked. And then Summit obviously is what he is, and then Licorice finally had a good matchup against Fudge. So like
Yep.
they're like those are the two clear links for C9 right now. And if you can get them behind, Sven and Berserker aren't going to dominate lane. At least not as of right now. So it's then on Berserker to either help bail them out, but like Berserker just gaps everybody in mid to late game team fights. And it's not even close. So I think you set mid
Yes.
and top behind, and then you don't have to worry about it. That's your only chance as of right now.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. It's just like I think at that point you just accept like there's only a few teams that can do that to them. There's really not many. Like EG's probably not one that can do that to C9. Uh,
No,
TSM is not one who can do that to them, and neither is NRG.
it's literally
So
it's gold. If you're C9, you're praying to God that TL and Golden Guardians knock each other out
yep.
and don't allow each other to get up there. Because I legitimately think if TL continues to scale like they are right now, they are a scary team against Cloud9 specifically. Just because they counter what they want to do really well.
Yep. And Appa's playing like he's a veteran, so
Yep.
it's really making it hard for everybody.
I think Core JJ is
Name
better
is
than Zen.
You do? Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
I'm not
Berserker's like
gonna.
head and shoulders above
Yeah.
Eon. I'm not saying that. Like as a bot lane duo, Cloud9 is still arguably better. But like individually over the last like 2 weeks, like Core JJ's been stepping it up.
And right now, like, Summit is just still the best top in the league. He's just doing what he's been doing. Every time he plays top lane, he just seems to be the best top. So, I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, he's the best laning top. I'm not gonna say he's better than everybody. Like, Fudge is
Yeah.
probably still able to out team fight him. But I don't know how much you put that on. Is that Fudge? Is that Berserker?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anything else you want to talk about LCS related before I get into a tangentially related question? That might take up a good bit of time.
I think we've talked on everybody a fair amount. I don't think Dig or Immortals really need to dive into, so no.
So, are you familiar? I know you're familiar with Dantes and hold up. Let me pull up the streamers that it was. But basically, they did a podcast. And apparently, Dantes and Tarzan, they were the two talking about this. They were apparently worried about their non existent, as of right now, girlfriends dressing a little too revealing while out.
I thought Tarzan had a girlfriend.
He might have a girlfriend, I don't know, but nevertheless, like I like what's your thoughts? Because I've seen this debate on TikTok as well, of people not liking when their girls dress very
Oh,
provocatively when they go out.
I mean, my opinion changes based upon whether I'm home or not. Like right now, I'm a lot more insecure because I'm deployed.
True.
So I struggle a lot more. Like I'll tell my wife back home. I know it sounds controlling, but it's really just our like it's just a relationship boundary
The
thing and
dynamic of your
she
relationship, yeah.
doesn't yeah, it changes a lot. But like right now there are certain friends I know like she has that uh are in have kind of done suspect things. I'll just leave it there. And I'll be like, I know you're going out with them, just be careful, text me a lot, blah blah blah, whatever. And she'll do that. But I don't know if I've ever like care I've never really cared about what she wears now. Like
I
I don't really care.
I don't understand this mentality. And not for you, I'm saying like this Dantes and everything else perspective of like
Hmm.
you worrying about what your girl's wearing. What the fuck does it matter? At all. First and foremost, like we should not have a say in my mind. Like I get like this is also spun up by I'm not sure if you're familiar who Kiki Palmer is. The name rings a bell.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, like her husband getting pissed about like her going out dressed a little bit more scantily clad. It's like
Yeah.
you're a mom. It's like, oh, what? Like,
I like how that's the part he put out there too.
yeah, like
He didn't like if bro would have won that, I'm telling you right now, here's the blueprint. Guys, if you are like me, all you have to do is not put, "Hey, I don't like what you were wearing." Put, "Hey, please don't like be rubbing up on some dude
yeah,
in
but like
public
that,
on
but
video." That
that has
is fine.
nothing to do with how
Yeah.
you're dressed whatsoever. Like that has
Mhm.
nothing to do with it. Like,
Yup.
granted, I know I think differently than most in that regard. Like I'm one of those people that actively encourages Emily to wear whatever you want. And if that's more provocative, then great. I don't have to pay for drinks. It doesn't come out of our joint checking account. It comes out of some random bozo that's going to buy you a drink and not get shit at the end of the night. Because at the end of the day, I know and I trust that like it's you and me.
Mhm.
And I know you're coming home to me. And that's not like a like controlling like, oh, I know you're coming home to me. It's like, nah, I'm just not fucking worried about it. If she's going out
Yeah.
like if she's going out with friends, I don't care. I don't act like I'm not like this is meant to be a slight of what you said, but it's like don't text me. Enjoy time out with your friends. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care if you're with a
Mhm.
full group of single girls, whatever. If anything, like use what you got to get drinks. Use what like literally just go out, have fun, and relax. I know you're coming home to me at the end of the day, and that's all that I care about. So I'm not gonna give a shit nor sweat 2 seconds about it.
Yeah. I I'm like a big I'm not huge on that, like the drinks thing, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's just preference. I feel
Yeah,
like
no, and that's
that's just
look,
whatever.
I get that because by all means, like that's saying like yeah, like flirt a little bit with other people. I just
Yeah,
think
I'm not.
I think of that as that's saving me money. That's
Yeah,
kind of
see,
nice.
like, and that's always like that's the one thing is like that's totally on what group of people you're in.
Yeah,
Like, because in the army, there's no way. Like, if my girl's out there getting drinks from other dudes, every dude here is gonna be sitting there looking at me and be it toxic or not, mentality. This is just the way the military is built. Every guy here's starting to go, "Oh, bro, she's done with you." Like that's it. Like we're all looking at each other like, well, it was nice while it lasted. I hope she's not going home with him. And you move on because you're in the middle of nowhere. But if you're home all the time, I see how it's like way mentally more like easier to not text and have that ability. And you're more of like a party guy than me. Like
that yeah, that's true.
you're
And
way
like
more open than me in that way.
I will also say like Emily was on tour for 4 months and like not home and still going out
Yeah,
and having fun and doing all that, and I still didn't give a shit. Like it
that's
literally
fair.
it does not bother me at all. Like I have full faith and 100% trust in her, and we have very open
True.
communication that I'm not worried that she's gonna hide with me. I'm not worried that she's gonna go with another guy. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
that thought never once crosses my mind.
Yeah. Because I say all this, but at the end of the day, like, Sam has gone out, like, a lot since I've been here, and obviously, I work, like, nights, so I can't be texting her the whole time. Like, and she's had drinks bought for her while she's out. It hasn't really fretted me because I'm usually working and stuff, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm not worried about her, like, leaving me because it's probably not gonna happen. So I can live with it, but yeah, like worrying about it, I will say it's kind of cringy. Like the
Yeah,
non-existent GF part. That part is like the cringy
bro.
part.
The
Like
amount.
I'm no Adam 22. I'll put it that
No,
way.
no. And to be clear, like, because I know some people are gonna interpret my words as the same thing. It's like, no,
Yeah,
not that situation.
yeah. We're not saying that. Yeah, we're saying our women can exist, and I'm not like if my girl is out doing stuff, I'm not going on Twitter down bad, posting stuff like that Kiki Palmer dude.
Although I
Like,
will, the one comment I will say on the Adam 22 situation, which I do find a little bit odd, is like everybody like ganging up on him for saying that like how could you ever let your girl do that when at the same time for the last like 6 years he's been getting like nonstop like threesomes and group situations with
yeah.
girls of his choice of which he has had sex with them. It's like
Mhm.
at some point that comes back around. And like
Yep.
they talked about how he did solo stuff with girls whenever she was like sick and stuff, so that they could keep continuing like content shoots. So I'm not
Yeah.
disagree. Like I get a lot of people's takes, but at the same time, there is a fairness element to that. That I think a
No,
lot of
there
people are
is.
kind of ignoring to a certain extent. But at the same time, there's obviously way more to it than just like that. Get it, like the fairness part.
I think that yeah, the marriage thing I think is where it just got everybody.
Yeah. Although I
Cause
also
I
don't.
did see what
Oh no, go ahead.
I was saying. I did see like people saying like, imagine their daughter's life soon, cause they have a daughter, and I was like, bro, she. This is not where I would start the tipping point. The tipping point
No,
for that girl was way back when he was getting
it's me,
his
not you.
knob slobbed all over her,
Yeah,
like,
like that's a
like
like. I think
years ago.
there was I forget who made the point, but somebody mentioned that like, look, once you've already crossed that line,
Yeah.
you can't undo it. So like, there's
Hmm.
no point like everybody bringing up like their daughter point. It's like, what are they gonna do? Take away the last 6 years prior to them getting married? Like, you can't do that. Like shit's out there. It's not going away. Sure, you might be able to increase like they're gonna increase the volume of content that's gonna be used against this kid later in life. Sure, but like it's already out there, and whether it's one or a million, like this kid's gonna have to grow thick skin no matter what, and that's just an unfortunate position that you've been born in. Sucks to suck, but it is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is like it sucks for that kid, and I feel bad. Like, is she gonna get bullied? Probably for that, yes. But also, you're also lucky enough to have been born, and your parents can afford the best therapy
I know.
ever. So,
Like
like,
that's the other thing that I think about. It's like everybody's like really
yeah,
pissed off, like, oh, what's that kid's life gonna be? And the kid's just gonna pull up $100 bill and go,
yeah.
I'm so sad. It's like
Which
no,
obviously is like jokes, and I would feel
yes,
terrible if they have to have therapy. But like I'm saying, there's kids born in way worse positions
they
with
also
parents who they can't have porn shown to them.
it is very much also gonna be on them as parents, like raise your kid to have thick skin. You have
Yeah,
like you have to be able like you need to start you need before your kids ever hear anything about it in school, you need to
yeah,
like prep them. The second like I know most people I think I was fairly late on this. I didn't have the sex talk until like 6th grade, 6th, 7th grade. That's not gonna be like that can't happen for them. They have to have
no,
that chat in like 2nd grade, 2nd, 3rd
yeah,
grade, because the second kids start having the ability to access the internet, it's gonna happen, and you can't shelter them forever. So you have to get them thick skin, and if they can handle it and they're fine, like everybody talk about the downsides, the positive side is you're fucking rich. Are you
Yeah, your
kidding
parents
me?
are millionaires, multi-millionaires.
I know.
Like, you're chilling like a villain. Like,
Like
it
you
ain't bad.
like I'm not again, it's a significant speed bump that you like have to make sure that you can get over because it can destroy your car.
Yeah,
But not ever having to deal with money problems in your life is a stress that
yeah,
95% of us will never know.
yeah. That, and like, just going back to the Dantes Tarzan thing, were they mentioning the Kiki Palmer
No,
situation?
but it's all tangentially related.
Oh, okay. Because it's like that guy, I'm telling you, the only mistake he made was one in general. He made a lot of mistakes. I
Yeah,
should take that back.
I was gonna say.
One, why go to Twitter, bruh? Why would you
Yep,
be on Twitter complaining
don't
about this?
ever.
But also, like, why is he complaining about the clothes? That was not the first thing I thought when I saw it. When people were writing, why is he complaining about the clothes? I had to go back and read it because I didn't really read what he wrote. I just read it and then watched the video. Like I was reading fast, and when I saw the video, I was like, "Oh, bro's like pissed that she's grinding all up on Usher right now." Like I'd be out of my mind too if that was my girl. I'd be like, "Yo, you can have your girls' night, you can have fun, but come on, like you're putting
Like
me in a tough spot."
you're ultimately I am of the belief that your marriage is whatever you define it to be. And
Yeah.
that is with it whatever two individuals set as their boundaries, that is the boundaries of which you should judge them.
Yep.
And for the two of them, if they're perfectly fine, like a lot of people in Hollywood are in like fully open relationships or whatever that might be, where
Yeah.
like she's able to dance on them, fine. Like you can't judge them for that because that's the boundaries that they set within their relationship.
Yep.
So long as you're within those parameters, that's all that matters. But clearly, that was not part of their
Yeah.
deal, or it might have been like we. The problem is we don't know, and we should never
We have
know.
no idea.
No, it's their business.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, that would be where I would be like, for me, it would be like a me personally thing. Like,
Yeah.
that is a boundary I definitely have set. Like, if I saw some video of Sam grinding on some guy, I'd be like, yo, we gotta like actually chat this one out. This hurts. Like, it would hurt me. But I know there's plenty of dudes out there who could see that and they would just be more turned on by their girl and ready to like get business done when they get back home.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely more in that camp. And not to turn this into a sexual podcast, but I will say, like, there is truth to the matter of sexual situations or like
Mhm.
sensual situations are erotic in nature, regardless of whether it's happening to you or happening to other people. But like at the same time, it's like I go out the clubs as well. People try and dance with me, and Emily and I's parameters are that yes, we're not dancing with anybody else. Like I'll be around people, we'll hang out. She might flirt and get drinks, and that we're cool with. But like we're not dancing with other people. Dance in a group, but like that type of shit happens. And if you have somebody that's in a relationship that is fine by those parameters, then
Mhm.
sure, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would never have sent my girl to like that kind of concert to do that. You know what I mean? Like, not saying I wouldn't let her go to a concert or something. I just mean if she was like grinding like that, I'd be like, oh, I wish she kind of would have like not done that, I guess. But I don't know if I would have like done what he did, which was just instantly be like on Twitter, "You're my baby mama, and you're going out here doing all this dressing like that." I was like, "Bruh, you gotta chill." Like, there's a way to handle that, and there's a way not to. Like, I get like he obviously is in a culture or a community where his friends are gonna clown on him for that
Yeah,
because
and
that
he's
way
not able to
he
handle
was
it.
reacting. Yeah, like he's gonna get clowned on for that because I'm definitely in that camp. Like I know I would get clowned on for it. That's obviously not why I make my decisions, but it would be part of it. I'd be like, bro, I can't believe my girl did this, and my friend would probably be like, yeah, bro, she's just kind of done with you, but that's military life. And it seems like he's in that kind of camp where like he texted one of his friends and his friend did not give him good advice. He was like, bro, my girl did this. And his friend was like, yo, you should like Chat with
Tweet
her,
about it.
maybe bring her home, talk about it. His friend was like, get back at her now. You got to get ahead of it. You got to beat her to the
You gotta
punch, which is like terrible
you gotta
advice.
control the narrative. You gotta post on Twitter the dumbest shit.
With your 12,000 followers to her 2.5 million, get ahead of it. I was like, bruh. You would never catch me that week. I'll
No.
say that. There's never a moment in my life where you would catch me putting on. For me, it would be Facebook because I probably have more outreach on Facebook
Yeah.
than anything else. There's no world where Paul Green would be going on Facebook to complain about what my wife did. I would be sitting there when she gets home. I'd be like, "Here's what I got to say. I will let you present your case." And I'm gonna take a few hours and go drive in the car and listen to sad music. That would be it. I'd be like, I need time.
Oh god. What's your go-to before we go? What's your go-to sad song? You're driving in the car. What's the
Oh,
first thing
just
you
Eden. The
Eden?
artist Eden. Yeah, I could pick him, and I just go. I just start on him. Like I can start from song 1 down and just start playing.
Yeah.
It's probably like Wake Up. I think it's something like that, or Crash. Those are 2 of my like favorite songs by him that are just super sad.
Something about saying crash while driving emotionally in a car doesn't sound welcoming. I don't know.
I'm gonna
For
get
me,
you banned. But
Matchbox 20, Goo Goo Dolls. If you want to go a little bit edgier, 3 Days Grace, maybe Good Charlotte for a little bit more emo. Like,
I mean, our argument would be over. Just saying. Reference to your Crash comment, but I didn't want to get you
Jesus
banned off
Christ.
YouTube. I didn't want to get
Jesus
you banned.
Christ.
I thought about not saying it. I didn't want to get you banned. Problem solved. Paul Green does it again.
It's more like Paul Green does it one final time.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But like, yeah, I don't know, bro. But I saw your tweet chain with like Dr. Respawner on it all.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw that and I was instantly like, bro, this is gonna be like, this is one of those Twitter threads that's gonna get so heated so quick.
Oh yeah, and
Like-
that, like there was one reply that I saw that was like trying to tiptoe around it, but like you could tell like there was a view of like somebody is mine, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't
Which
want to
is
go that
like-
route. You don't ever want to go that route because that's like you don't own shit. You're in a relationship
Yeah.
with somebody. You don't own an individual. You don't have any right to what they say or what they do. You have an agreement to talk to each other. That's what you have. And ultimately, they're still a human being. And they can make their own damn decisions. And you can either choose to go along with that or to leave. But you don't own shit. Don't ever, ever think that you own another person. Or that you have... Or like anybody's your property or anything like that.
Because we're probably like on different sides of the spectrum of this argument, but we can talk it out. I don't think Twitter is gonna talk it out. I don't think Twitter's ever gonna talk it out.
Twitter will erupt into somebody quote tweeting it, and then Kira or the person that has like the Danny Phantom profile picture just coming in and ending the entire thing with like some one-liner that gets 100,000 likes and 10 million views. Because
someone's gonna drop the like "that's my girl" line or whatever, and somebody's gonna take "my girl" as what you just said, and they're gonna run on an ownership rant. And who knows how they met "my girl"? They could have met it in a completely innocent, innocent way, not meant it like that. But it's too late because we're already 3 tweets down, and it's like they've lost the narrative. The narrative is so gone. So it's like, and somebody else could put, yeah, I don't care what my girl does, and someone's just gonna instantly go, oh, so you don't care if she's getting absolutely beat out by some guy? And a guy's gonna be like, no, that's not what I said at all. Like, that's not what I said.
But then he's gonna be like, that's not what I said, and incoming in the quote retweets, cock, absolute cock. He's letting her get away with anything. It's like, oh my god. And poor
Like,
guys just sitting there like, I didn't even mean it that way.
we had an argument like that here. There was a guy who like was here and somebody came in and dropped like a cuck question, like, could you cuck somebody? And it's a room full of military men, so it was instantly like unanimous. No, I couldn't cuck anybody because I'm not getting cucked type thing, like with a guy in the room. And it spiraled so fast because one guy in the room was like, what's the matter with that kind of thing? And we all just went. Like, I realized it instantly, but I realized a lot of guys in there did not realize that this guy was objecting because he's totally down with this kind of thing. And I looked over and I just went, oh no. The whole conversation just exploded into yelling about cucking. And dudes like alpha mailing each other over cucking. And I was sitting there just like constantly trying to mediate it, being like, nobody cares, like it's not that big a deal. That's
Yep.
not what they're meaning, blah blah blah. Trying to get us through it because I was like, this is so gross now. Like it's getting to the point where it's just getting awkward.
Yep.
And like it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh my god. This is hilarious. We are so far away from LCS
I know.
conversation right now. It's hilarious.
That's the crossover podcast.
Yep. Crossing over from, I don't even know.
I mean, think about it. Like
Oh, dude.
LCS being a substitute is like sitting in the cuck chair, you know?
Nah, you want to like if we were in the COD scene, you could have like a full like 20 minutes every time on like relationships and like shit that's happened in the COD scene. Like,
Really?
oh, dude, I don't want to bring it up. I'm not going to, but like there's a famous COD player who's now in a very stable relationship with a great girl, but like there was a girl that like he dated that like slept with like 5 other COD pros and was like there was revenge stuff being done on stream and like like dude, Call of Duty is like if you planted high school into a very public esport with millions of followers. It's exactly that. People don't know how to act like
Jeez.
adults and like it's just pettiness. Get back at one another. It's the same like groupies of everybody like dude, it's COD has like you could make a pretty stable career and podcast out of that for that.
That's pretty interesting.
Luckily,
to be
League
honest.
players
I
we
didn't know
don't
that.
we don't get girls all that much, so that's good. Not as much to
Go
be
us.
said. Go us.
Go us. Also, I just feel like League players are like the more. I mean, let's be real. We're the most sadistic of all the video game players. So, like, I don't feel like a League player would even take the time to do all that. Like a COD player would. Like, they just be like, damn, whatever. I got, like, so many games I want to grind right now, so I'm just not going to deal with this. And they would just start to
Yep.
let it toxically fall apart. But they wouldn't actually break it off or anything. They would just slowly, like, pull apart from the scenario. Like, because they would just start doing 14-hour days. Like, that's what
Yeah.
they would do. That would be their way of revenge. It wouldn't be revenge at all. They'd just break themselves playing League of Legends.
Bro,
Wait, unless you're the China scene. I feel like the Chinese scene is that level.
So the big thing in COD was always like the post-event parties. Like the day after was like where shit went down. Like every time. I would love to know what happens within like the LPL like after parties and everything else that like it's got to be
Bro.
wild. Absolutely wild.
I mean, Uzi's back because a player was addicted to prostitutes, so.
Bro, if we move the league out to Vegas, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
So
Why
many
would they move it to Vegas?
cheaper,
Is that their plan?
probably.
Bro,
I mean,
just
well,
go
no,
a
it's probably
little
not.
more
It's probably no,
east.
it's probably not their plan. To be fair, like we have no
Oh,
clue.
okay.
But
I
I'm
was
just saying.
like, they can't go a little more east? Goodness.
No, we have no clue what their plan is. But I'm just saying. Also, to the comment, LPL after parties actually having a certain sniffy drug and hookers. Yeah, well, that's common literally everywhere. I'll just say
Yeah,
that.
like
Like, I promise you, it's not much different in major cities in the U.S. either, at
no,
all.
no,
Hell, even in
no.
my hometown, I know the people that were like that were doing.
I mean,
I don't know what how I don't
I'm
know how
pretty
careful we have
sure
to be
if
with the
the
words.
LCS went to Chicago or New York, they're just gonna realize how much more degenerate the Midwest and the
Oh
East
yeah,
Coast is because there's no sun. Like most of the year up in New York and in Chicago. So when people start realizing there's no sun, that's why everyone out here has vices. In LA's vice is smoking weed and trying to chill, but grinding for fame. And out here, your vice is literally dying for the financial sector.
dying for the financial sector, and then a lot of Adderall and cocaine,
Yeah.
like a lot. And I
Yep.
did like I was to be clear to everybody watching, I've never done a drug in my life. Literally ever. Never smoked a cigarette. Never smoked weed. Like I just have no. I have no care to do anything like that. I drink casually, but I've been around people that have, and you don't realize how relevant it is in almost every single social setting until you're like it's one of those that like do you ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
No.
Okay, well there's a scene in How I Met Your Mother where basically everybody realizes somebody's individual problem. Like they either snore too, or they breathe too heavy, or they talk too much, and like you have this glass wall that like once it shatters, like it's like you can never unsee it. You can like you're always aware of it. I wasn't aware of how much drug culture existed like at parties and everything else. Like when I was at Marquee this past Saturday, basically me and a friend of mine went, just the two of us, and we got on the dance floor and we ended up meeting up with a group of like three other people, one guy, or sorry, four other people, one guy and three other girls. And we were just chatting, having a good time, dancing on the floor. The guy with the other three girls had to leave and go to the bathroom, and he basically like says to me, "Hey, could you watch over everybody? Like, just take care of the group." Because I'm the tallest guy in the club. Nobody else is like seeing around me. The girls know where I'm at because like I'm always like a beacon of wherever I'm at. And I was like, "Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely." So we're there, and the one girl that I saw was kind of hanging on him because I thought they were like together. Turns out they weren't together. She's just rolling on Molly, like absolutely rolling, and like she then puts her head on like my shoulder, but not in like a well, not on my shoulder, but like against my arm, but not in like a romantic way, in like a way to stabilize herself so she doesn't fall to the ground while still like and then I like it quickly made me realize like what I thought was just like happy energy and all that was like no, they're all rolling on Molly. It's like, oh my god. It was still a fun time. He came back. We all
That's
still hung out with a
wild.
group. Everybody was dancing, having a good time. And it's like, I don't need that's the insane part to me is like they're rolling, and I'm sure they might have a good time otherwise, but like I don't need that to have the exact same experience that they're having
Mm-mm.
and have a blast with it. So why?
Yeah. I've I've never been much of that either. But I've never really been a party guy. I was homeschooled most of my life, so going to
I
like big parties really just didn't work for me.
I always wanted to. I was just too shy. I still have never been to a house party in my life.
Really?
Like an actual okay, to I've been to obviously to like house or apartment parties and shit like that here in New York, but
Yeah.
it's not the same as like a full blown house party. Never went to one. I didn't get it. Like I didn't. I was always DDing in college, so like I picked people up, and I was an RA, so like I never put myself in those situations.
Yeah. I'm just mainly I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm such a sports merchant. Like people would be like, "You want to go to this?" And I'd be like, "I'm honestly just gonna go play League." And I'd go back to
That
my house.
that was my thing. Is like I was an RA. I didn't really like have the encouragement to go out. I was already in a relationship with Emily, so I wasn't gonna pursue anybody, and like I'm not going out to a
Yeah.
party to meet anybody. Uh, so I'm just gonna stay home and play League, or at that time like Call of Duty or Minecraft or some shit. Now,
Yep.
realize that I realized during college that I love the music of parties, and that transitioned me into starting to get into party culture because I love going to a spot where the bass is so loud that it rattles your rib cage.
Yeah,
That feels good. That's an addicting feeling, and I don't like. Oh,
true. That is true. I do love a good EDM place, but or just really any hip hop, whatever. But
you come to New York, I will make sure you have a blast.
I'm sure Sam will probably enjoy it more than me.
Maybe.
More than likely. I'm not like I would go out there and she'd be probably dancing and stuff, and I'd just be standing there. I don't
So
really dance. I just stand.
so then you can stand and hang back with Emily, and then I'll go on the floor. I'll take care of Sam out on the dance floor, make sure she's protected and everything, and there's no problems out there. Because Emily's the same way. She doesn't like being in the crowd. She just wants to kind of sit back, like listen to the music and chill. Like I want
Yep.
to be in there fucking raging, like jumping up and down, like having a blast, like just screaming out lyrics, like
But it is. I do like that scene. I don't have an issue with it. It is a pretty fun scene. I'm not gonna lie.
what time
It's
do
a
you
pretty
think the
good way to hang
DJs
out.
go on here in New York? At a
No
club or a
clue.
party?
12? I don't know. Is it earlier or later?
Keep guessing.
I have no idea. I don't really do stuff like that.
Typically 1 or 1:30.
Like in the morning?
Yeah, that's when the main, like if you're paying to see like the chain,
Hey.
if you're paying to see the chain smokers, like the club opens at 11. There's an opening act that goes on for at least 2 hours, sometimes 2.5, and then the main artist goes on from 1 or 1:30 till about 3:30 in the morning, and then there's 30 more minutes of the club being open before it closes at 4.
Hmm. What Amog just said is literally me though. He said I'm that meme of the guy standing in the corner.
Yeah,
I am. I'm probably that guy standing in the corner with some stupid sports knowledge in my head. Like, they don't know.
they don't know the spread of this game.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I when we were at Marquee, there was actually two people talking about what event. It was a baseball game that was going on the next day. They were talking about the line. And like
Really?
right before the main DJ went on, when like they kind of cooled everything off, like I overheard them talking. I think it was a Mets game, and they were talking about the spread. I was like, bro, there's no way you're like in the right mind frame right now to be placing these bets. What the fuck are you doing talking about that?
I don't know. That's when you bet best, to be honest. Like, I'm serious. You'll take more risks,
True.
but you'll also probably bet worse. Not that gambling's good to do at any time.
That's fair.
Gotta make sure people know where I stand. They don't have to know what I actually do. They just have to know where I stand.
Oh man. All right. Well, this went off the rails at the end. You realize
A little bit.
we spent 40 minutes talking about this.
It's probably for the better. You needed this.
I did.
You needed to.
I needed to get my mind
Yeah.
off of it and just not think about it because I was really depressed in the middle of that, wasn't I? Oh man.
You needed this moment to sit here and tell yourself it's all going to be okay and that 100 Thieves can win, even though, let's be honest,
All right.
we're
Hang on.
probably the best team.
Among's got one. He said he's got one question to drag me back in the gutter before we end it, which is good. I would like to cry myself to sleep. Ask away in chat. What are you gonna do that's gonna bring me down? Also, Con brings up a great point. We really did only have one day of LCS to talk about, so there really wasn't much.
That's a good point.
Like we've said everything that we were gonna say. Inspired, yes or no to bench closer. It depends on how.
Yes, if
It,
you
de-
could get him.
it depends on how much he costs. If he costs a
Yeah,
lot, then absolutely not. No, we're better off
yeah.
just tanking into the off season.
Well, I have bad news for you. Inspired's probably not cheap, bro.
I'm not willing to pay for him because I don't think you plug Inspired in and he magically fixes our problems. So I don't think it's worth whatever price tag it's going to be. It's not an Abadage for Demonte situation where like you're literally just missing one piece. No, like this is we've got other issues as well, and I don't think just fixing closer is enough to make it worth it. I
Double
think
F's career is really gonna end with someday closer and quid.
no, I think Double Lift plays one more year.
Probably.
I think Double Lift has at least one more good split left on the table, or one more good year left on the table, where you just gotta get somebody around him. If I'm him, I'm telling 100 Thieves, look. Well, I don't know what 100 Thieves contract is, but like I like Double Lift Busio, keep them there, but like you just got to be looking at everything else and being like, okay,
Yeah.
get me a mid jungle duo that can play. Because we got Sniper coming in at top lane. Like, just buy out River and Gory.
Yeah. Whoa. No, probably not gonna happen. You
What's
think
the.
GGS doesn't try to build off of this?
Hold up. Let's see if they have a choice. Let's see if they have any choice. I need the LCS contract database. Alright, global contract database. Boom. Pull this up. Oh, didn't mean to black us out there.
I think
NA.
GGS has plenty of money.
Okay, so Double Lift's on a 1-year deal, actually. So, Double Lift's a free agent after the split.
There's how they get.
And so is Busio.
Even.
Double Lift and Busio are both 1-year
Makes a good
deals,
point.
which is a little bit scary. Cloud9, nobody's available. EG, you have Armeo, but I don't really think that's worth it. FlyQuest, I'm not even looking at anybody there. No thanks. Mortals, no thanks. NRG, no thanks.
Take Boogie.
Maybe. That might not be bad, actually. Take Boogie, take Insanity. Insanity.
I don't think Double Lift will play with Insanity.
Maybe you're right. Maybe, wait, what's APA? No, APA is for 2 years. Notably, Piosic and Summit are available. Not that Piosic would really be all that much better, but
Summit would be cool with Double Lift.
Summit
Like-
and Double Lift would be great.
Yeah, that'd be. They'd low-key win it all.
In terms of mid laners, though, literally everybody's on contract through 2024. Next year is going to be actually absurd. Dude, listen to the amount of people that are all up next year. Jojo Pune is available. For FlyQuest, Impact, Prince are available. Not that they're really like all that big. The entire Golden Guardians roster is available in 24. For NRG, Palafox and contracts. For TL, Yeon is available. Core JJ is a free agent after this year.
Yeah, well, you just said that.
Going up to C9, Berserker, free agent as of 2024.
There's no way you just said, not that they're that big, about Prince. He was almost an MVP last split.
Yeah, but now he sucks. So
you put him around the right people, we see what he can do.
You know who's the longest contract right now in the LCS? Which is kind of fitting, actually. Blabber.
Yeah, I mean, as he should.
Blabber is contracted with Cloud9 through 2026.
Good.
Alright, I really gotta edit this, and get it out. Anything else you want to chat about?
No, I mean, I actually do think that DL like Insanity Boogie Busio roster with General Sniper would be fire though. Like,
Agreed.
Low key, it sounds pretty heat.
Agreed. Oh, there's the Emily call. So stream, we will catch you later. We'll catch you on the next episode. Adios.